Yes. Hello, I'm Jessica.
I'm Olivia.
And we're here at Heart of the Hollow filming another episode of Perception and Perspectives. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Doing good. So we had planned today to kind of talk about what we're doing here because it's kind of indescribable.
Yes.
How would you describe it, Olivia?
So I feel like our videos are going to be more of like what we feel like the world needs to hear at that moment.
Not like structure.
Yeah, not really having like a certain order or structure to the videos. Basically, like really just putting out the content that we are intuitively feeling like people need to hear at this time.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yes. And that being said, today is Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday. What does that mean to you?
I don't know. I
mean,
mean,
if you think of Sundays,
like
nostalgia-wise, what do you...
Sunday has always been like a reset day kind of
Yeah.
type thing, but also like based around like reconnecting with religion or spirituality or whatever it is that really grounds people and brings them peace.
Yeah.
Kind of reconnecting with that part of themselves. I feel like Sunday is a very like highly intuitive spiritual day. And I feel like a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah, and for me, pondering and saying, like, what's a good summary for that? And I like to think of it as gratitude.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure.
Just a time to show that and happiness. I mean, I woke up this morning and I was like, I'm alive.
Right.
There's air in my lungs. This is good. This is all right. I can work with this, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
That's just, no, I like that. Go on. With your next point of like what we're doing here.
Oh,
scratching her nose. Because I'll just keep on talking if you don't jump in, girl.
I don't know what to say.
How about this?
Mm-hmm.
I want to do this podcast exactly how saying what I want to say and not censor myself or hold myself back with what needs to be said. Right. And like with our all of the episodes we've done up until then, we've tried to like stay not necessarily
kind
in
of
a
like
middle lane, but stay right. We've tried to stay like palatable, so like you know, like, most people can get it, but you
gotta get your point across. And
yeah,
there's definitely, I think we should go ahead and put this out here into this video. I actually think we should probably like title this video like maybe like an intro to this podcast, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or just like perspective and perspective, like you get the point. Anyways,
perspective and perception. What are we doing here?
Like the intro.
3 minutes in, let's give him an intro. Girl.
But yeah, but I already forgot what I was gonna say.
Perception and perspectives to you.
No, I just already forgot what I was gonna say. I feel like we should restart.
No, we're in it to win it now.
It's only 3 minutes.
No, girl. This is how it works. Okay, so some of the things that I have planned kind of that want to incorporate with this, like of course we'll be doing different current issues and stuff, but as we see them come up in our life.
Yeah.
But I also want that to not be devoid of things like music and just talking about how we feel about different situations that's going on.
Right.
Yes. Can I help you? Maybe some of your notes around here. What were we talking about yesterday?
I don't know. And now I really want to remember what I was going to say. Because it felt so important.
Well, let me tell you this. This is only like, we haven't even been on camera too terribly much, but the only way you get good at something is by keep doing it over and over.
I'm trying to think of what I was going to say. It had something to do with like this, oh yeah. I was going to say, I feel like I don't necessarily want to have like strict boundaries or feeling like we can only talk about certain things, because I feel like the more that you beat around the bush, it's like you're never really going to get your point across.
Right. And it will never be authentically.
Yes. And there's like so many important things that I feel like we need to talk about. So really, I just feel like for this podcast, I'm just going to go based on my intuition and what I think needs to be said, and then maybe things that I just feel like don't really need to be said. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, honestly, if we were to jump into a topic, like I said, I really think dopamine detox would be something really important to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, that does kind of tie into what we were saying with the Reset Sunday kind of day.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's true. That's true. A lot of people do see Sunday as a day to like take a detox from electronics.
So it's like maybe whatever, spiritual force or God or whatever it is you want to say that you believe in, just recognizing that one day of that, like there's something to that. You know what I mean? Right. Whether it was divinely inspired or we just decided like, hey, you know what? This is a necessary thing to do for humanity. So I like that. And actually, when we were kind of discussing this topic before filming, you were saying that goes into what you were talking about yesterday with withdrawing for the time being and taking some time alone and how that helped you.
Yes, I was going to say, like, I mean, if this is kind of more of like the intro of what we want to talk about, I do want to go ahead and start off by saying I think it's very important to decipher what resonates with you and what doesn't. I think, I watched a video and it was this woman on YouTube and she was talking about how there's going to be a lot of people in the spiritual community who are going to misguide you and have ill intentions.
Oh, for sure.
And then other spiritual teachers who are actually trying to help you, see the truth. But I think a lot of that, you really have to learn to go based off your intuition to see what information is actually valid for you and what information is total BS.
Right.
So one thing I can say is not even just necessarily a dopamine detox, but also spending time alone. I cannot stress this enough. Like spending time alone and really listening to your inner compass and your inner guide. That will help you a lot to see if the things that we talk about resonate with you and maybe things that we talk about that don't. So one of my favorite things I've always heard from spiritual teachers on YouTube is take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't.
Yeah.
Like not necessarily trying to force anything on anyone, just putting out putting our input out into the world. And if it resonates with you, take it. Right. And if it doesn't, then leave it.
Yeah, and actually, another good way to describe perception and perspectives is even though we are people in the spiritual community and that's where we come about things, like we're not going to be limiting ourselves to just that. We're just people.
Just people talking about things.
We are just spiritual people who happen to be talking about current event things and slant it whichever way you want it. Because it's not just going to be about spiritual stuff, but not just going to be about... I guess I'm shying away from the word politics, but we're going to do
politics.
Yeah.
Or just I really want to get into more of the topics of feminine and masculine energy and how that impacts our relationships and our family and our friendships. So I feel like we'll definitely be getting into a lot of different stuff on this channel.
Yes.
Other than just, this is a rock. This is what this does. You know what I mean? Whatever. Anyways.
I know what you mean. So, how about this? We'll just title this the intro video, and then we'll do Perception and Perspectives actual show here in a few minutes.
Right.
And get some more stuff going on, and we could talk more about gratitude maybe.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Stuff like that. Sound good, Olivia?
Yes, that sounds good.
Love it.